Hi, I'm here because I want to talk about a really important release, one that I've been waiting for a very long time, but it's finally here. And the release I'm talking about is called Pale Communion by Opeth. I've got a copy here. I went out yesterday to pick it up, and I have been listening to it non-stop for the past 2 days. And all I can say is that it's just brilliant, it's fucking brilliant. It basically takes up where Heritage left off 3 years ago. It's a very well rounded work. Production wise, sounds impeccable. Really reminiscent of the previous album, really. And it's a perfect continuation of what Opeth have been doing for the last 3 or 4 years now. And all I can say is that it's just fucking brilliant. I've been reading some reviews on the internet where people call it a huge masterpiece in the prog rock world. And I don't know if I can go as far as calling it that myself, but it certainly is an album to really pay a good amount of attention to. I feel this release is way more coherent than the previous one. I really like Heritage, but I felt it was a bit disjointed, especially towards the middle section. I felt a big chunk of the whole record was, it wasn't really that cohesive. But I still liked it, and I still played it, every now and then. But now we have this one, which is like Heritage Part 2, but way more assertive. The songs flow through in a really smooth way. So it's just fucking great. And I'm gonna mention a couple of bands that popped up in my head when I was listening to this record. Porcupine Tree, Steven Wilson, obviously, because he was involved with the mixing of the album. Who's that? Caravan, Yes, Camel, and all these bands have a very distinctive sound, yet they all popped up in my head when I was listening to this album for some reason. And I think that's a great thing, because Opeth goes to show that they're not the type of band that people would typecast them in a certain category. They got all the freedom in the world to do whatever they want, and that's what they do. They deliver a different statement with every release, and that's what makes them incredibly attractive to the audience, and that's what makes people expect really eagerly for the next album. I really want to know what these guys are gonna do next. Hopefully it won't take that long. In 2 years down the line, I hope. So, to sum things up, because I want to keep this video very short, I would urge you to buy this album. Well, you don't have to buy it, but if you want to have a listen to it, it's available on YouTube, Spotify, and all these amazing online resources that we have. And one thing that I wanted to talk about was this song called Goblin, which is the fifth song of the album. And this song is very peculiar because it sounds like everything else but Opeth. If you play me this song before knowing it was on this album, before knowing it was Opeth, I would have never imagined it was this band. And that goes to tell you how much these guys have evolved musically, how much of a mastermind Michael Ackerfeld is. You know, they always say that geniuses are never satisfied with what they have, and I'm sure Michael Ackerfeld feels like that because he's always on the lookout for something else, and he might never get it, but on his path he's gonna come across different ideas, different musical statements that enrich Opeth's catalog, and that's extremely fascinating for someone like me and the thousands and thousands of Opeth fans around the world. I also wanted to say that there's a lot of people who slag them off, especially from Heritage onwards, because they didn't sound like they did before. You know, metal purists didn't like them anymore because they had a way more stripped down sound to what they were used to in the past. No growlings, no heavy riffs. It was more that they were venturing into the rock, progressive rock scene. And personally, I feel that's amazing because, again, that goes to show that a band is evolving. Now, not it doesn't mean that bands have to do this always in order to evolve. You have bands like Motorhead, bands like AC/DC, who keep putting out same stuff all the time and people love it, and I love that stuff. I wouldn't want my favorite bands to change the sound just because they want to experiment after the 20th album. It doesn't really make sense to me. But this is a different kind of musical ensemble, a different statement in the music world, if you want. So I would urge all those purists who wrote Opeth off after the release of Heritage to really reconsider listening to this band, because there's so much to offer in this album. Layers and layers of amazingly well crafted musicianship can be left and heard. So, as with anything in life, opening up your mind to different things will really reward you, will really open your perspective to different things, and it will pay off. So guys, thanks for watching. If you have the chance to check out Opeth's Pale Communion out, please do so, because I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Done.